Alright guys, it's time to unbox. You might even be able to see it through there. Crystal Age. We'll see how it came in. It came in kind of like this. Again, prototype obviously, so nothing here is final, including the shipping method of course. But should be pretty interesting to see. I'm excited. I love these indie style games where, I don't know, so often I feel these indies really show the big companies how it's done, how to properly run a campaign, properly make a game, make it efficient, all that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited. I love showing off these sorts of campaigns and games quite a bit. And this one's kind of had my eye for a while now. As you know, a lot of that just has to do with, I don't know, the style of game seems different than a lot that I have on my shelf. So when it comes to something unique, it's not just another dungeon crawl, which I kind of appreciate as much as I love dungeon crawls. And the style, just the look and feel of it seems to be pretty cool as well, I feel, anyway. So they did really kind of wrap this quite well. I'm hoping it's not so tight or I can't just open it up and slide it out as opposed to unwrapping the whole thing, but we'll see. Let's see where that net me. Probably not. Oh, actually, looks like that might be able to work. There we are. Look at that. Look at that. Not bad. Love the color. Very colorful, very vibrant. Got some strong blues and purples and greens, which I appreciate. I think it looks cool. I want to take a look at the back. Look at that, even right side up on the back. I appreciate that as well. So again, I don't know what's all involved in this, if this is like more or less final or not when it comes to this box, or what's involved in the Kickstarter. We'll have to see that. Again, the campaign will be linked down below, so feel free to check that out, follow along, see if it's something for you or not. Solo, cooperative, and competitive, I like that. That's really cool because I think from what it sounds like, all of those modes don't require a drastic amount of changes in the rules. It's not like it's some alt way of playing it, then there's like a set way. So it seems to fit pretty well. All right, well, let's go ahead and take a look, see what's in here. Okay, pretty organized inside, so that's nice. That's good. Looks like we have just some padding is all this is by the looks of it. So we'll take out some of the padding. Some custom padding there. Okay, and we got some more padding here. But it'll put this back together the way it is. Alright, and see right now we got this like foam storage here. But let's go and take a... Oh, and we do got minis. Very cool. Alright, I'm excited now. That's all it takes. Let's take a look at this map here. See how the map tiles look. A nice little guitar strings. Rubber bands here. Looks like right now they're all separate. We'll see how, if that's a fold out or not. It probably will be, right? Again, prototype, of course. Looks like it fits together kind of like that. Very cool, very cool. This seems like a well done prototype so far. I like this. This is like a nice linen kind of board, and then they just glued this on top. Which isn't too far off of how it would be final, especially like the print quality and all that. Probably not too far off, like I said, so that's really cool. So the different connection points, and then of course the center thing there. Not a bad size either. Like, it's not a big board. This might be coffee table worthy. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. We're gonna move that just out of camera shot for a little bit. Take a look at what else we have here. We have a whole bunch of dice. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and show off these dice because, again, it's all prototype anyway. But what I'm more curious about is the style, right? So, as you can see, there's a few different styles, right? A few different quantities that you have. And then different colors in each one. But at least for now, I mean, this looks great. Looks fine. I like the font on this. The font style's cool. I like the numbers. Okay, we got some gems. Again, you guys have seen gems so many times. I'm not too focused on that. Color-wise, they seem good. The green's nice and dark, so it doesn't blend into the yellow too much for me. So overall, these look just fine. I can see all the different colors. Okay. Kind of my only test there. Now we do have some wound tokens. Now with this, we're going to have to zoom in on. And then we're going to go to cards and then minis. And literally, that's it. I love a game that doesn't take a bunch of storage. It doesn't take a bunch of setup time and a bunch of teardown time. And, you know, I'm 3 hours in. We haven't even played the game yet. That's why I'm enjoying... oh, this is magnets. Oh, that's fun. Card games so much. So this is like... Even this, look at that. It's all magnetized together. That's kind of cool. Look at that. But it works. That's pretty neat. I like these. That's cool. So we got, and again, you can do up to what? Probably 99 here, right? You know, up to 99 health, or wounds in this case, based off of this. This would be useful in Warhammer, honestly. I use a lot of dice to do it, but this is kind of a cool way to do it. I dig that. Very cool. And it's just all magnets. Ha! Oh, see? See, that's what I'm talking about. That's awesome. Very cool. Let's go ahead and look at the big cards first. Now, I think this is like your character cards almost by the looks of it. Try not to break anything here. It's quite skinny. Okay, got that. All right, so we do have a front and back on 2 of them. I think these are just, this is just like our player reference card. I'm going to zoom out a tiny bit more. Just a tiny bit more. There we go. So as you can see here, it has abilities. And then here it has some of the guardians here, the 4 different guardians as well. So that's pretty cool. I dig that. I think it looks awesome. Fairly easy contrast-wise to read, but a little small in font. Now, I can read this okay, but honestly, I know for a lot of you that might not be the case. And there is a lot of negative space here, so increasing the font size here and just reducing the empty space, I know it may not be as aesthetically pleasing, but it will be more usable, and the whole purpose of this existing, these 2 cards specifically, is to be used. So I would like a small increase to that, perhaps, on the font size, but otherwise, looking great. Back of the cards look great. Love that. Also love the size of these. They're fun, especially when it comes to the art, because you can see the full character. Very good, especially if you're going to be painting them. That'll be awesome. So you have here some of the characters. Again, you saw them up front as well. And it looks like you have some bad guys as well. Now, let's see, you have some health, and it looks fairly standard, right? 2 defense, 20 health. I don't know what this symbol is. Probably ranged, and then maybe their attack. Whereas this is probably melee in their attack. And, I don't know, magic perhaps? I'm not sure. I don't know what that other symbol is there. It's kind of interesting. And then you have some enemies here. Again, looking very cool. Again, a lot of different symbols. Well, not a lot of different ones, which is kind of nice. But there is fairly symbol heavy on here. But honestly, the symbols don't look much at all. So I think once you start playing that, it should be pretty easy just to go through it. Okay. That's the big cards there. That's it. Now we do have some little cards here as well. Actually, well, not some, quite a few. Looks like they are in different stacks. Let me go ahead and separate those just so we can kind of stay organized a bit. Got those. We got those. A lot of these, okay. Got those, and then these. Okay, now let's take a look. So it looks like here, I'm not seeing a difference. So there are some repeats here, obviously. Now, these are smaller cards. I'm zooming slightly more for you. There you go. I'm loving the art style, though. It looks really, really good. And you got some juggernauts here, and again, same kind of thing. Got a few symbols, but nothing too much. Got the centaur person going on here. Got a very creepy, weird-looking elf gnome, not gnome dwarf-looking kind of thing, not elf. Some Egyptian people, some summoners of some kind. And then whatever the heck that thing is, I wouldn't mess with it, but, you know, that's just me. That's that. Then we have this. Some tree guys here. Or whatever the heck that thing is, like some crazed sloth. Because why not? Some plant lady. Looks like she's like capturing people. A little fairies. That's kind of fun. Crazy looking kind of elf thing. Elf. Owl thing. And a really cool looking multi-horned kind of stag-like thing. Very cool. Those are awesome. Okay, then we have these. And I'm wondering if these are just in different zones, perhaps. Or, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've looked at this game. We got a little rhino guy. Got like a little kind of monkey feather kind of thing. Got a gigantic... Look at the scale of that. My goodness. I'm assuming this is like health or something, because that's a huge amount. Got a gemmed hyena looking kind of thing, and like a dinosaur, because why not? And then whatever the heck that is. Again, like, really liking the art. This is the variety here between creepy and cool quite a bit. You got Kerberos, kind of like Cerberus, but not. Got a dragon. Look at that, 9. And these are hardcore is what these are. Look, all of these have higher numbers. You got like a freaking like thing from Bloodborne. You got a demon. Very cool. Whatever that floaty thing is. And then a djinn. Or a djinn. A genie kind of thing. Very cool. Okay. That is literally all the cards. So we're going to look at some standees. And then we're going to look at some minis. But that is literally it. Not bad. I love this. I love this. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the standees. So it looks like they will have acrylic standees here. So that's cool. It is one-sided right now, at least for these. So you can see the back of the print and the front of the print. So you have, this is kind of a cool little blue-purple look to these, which is kind of interesting. There's those 4. All right, and then you have a few of those like big enemies. There you go. And then you have your characters here. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at one of the characters. Okay, so we got that acrylic glass, which is always very nice. Again, one-sided here. But as you can see, looks good. There's a little bit of, like cutting here on the edge. But again, prototype, of course, as well. Overall, good. Maybe a little dark of a print, but it honestly looks like a very basic print, too. I imagine the quality will increase over time. But everything's kind of uniquely shaped and conforms to the artwork. So that's good. And just a little blown out colors, and could use a little bit of a higher tier there, but otherwise okay. Take a look at like one of these. So there's like the shield guy there. This is perhaps a little loose on that one. But again, I'm sure this will be pretty standard eventually too. There's that. Honestly, this looks like the miniature render just kind of, so I don't think the artwork is quite done here on this one. And then it's just colored a certain way. I just want to take a look at one of the bosses, though. So there's one of these kind of big bad guys here. Again, looks very cool. They included that part there, and you can see kind of the size difference there. A fair amount. But yeah, these look cool. I like them. This would look really good once finalized. All right, so that's some standees. Let's go and take a look at the minis. Come on. This one's really in there. There we go. Okay, we're going to start, I think, with the characters. Okay, so I can tell you right now this is a 3D print. I'll zoom in a little bit, but I'll talk to you about it. So this is going to be a resin print, and then it's been heavily primed as well with a primer. There we go, that's a good distance. So the reason I know it's a print, I mean, besides just the fact that I've handled a lot of them, is because of all of these really thick posts. So they definitely printed this safely, but at the same time, it does leave these really thick posts here. This is not what would be on the normal Mini. That's just there as like support. In other words, it was printed like this, right? And so you need all of these things supported, and that's what that is. And they kind of cut them off. And again, not even like the best at that either, but because you can get a lot closer. But they did it quick, did it to where it's efficient, and then again, then they just prime over it all. So this is the actual plastic here. So it's not that different, but it's a little different. And then this is the primed plastic here. So either way, let's go ahead and take a look at detail, and I'll talk about what might have a problem with the final print. So the hair looks great. I love the hair. The face is really good. The bandana scarf looking thing here is really good. All the detail level actually looks quite good. There's some faint design here that needs to be thickened up a little bit for the final print. These lines might need a tiny bit of work there. Yeah, all this looks good. Very cool. There's some fine lines on the sword you might want to make sure to accentuate. I don't know what this is. It's coming out. I guess it's her scarf, but it's like crazy, and it even has like a little hole there, which is kind of cool. I like the hole. The fingers, pretty good. I think these two fingers will be connected, so it'll be kind of like this, almost like a gun, which is fine. I think that's great. So if you group two fingers together and then have the thumb separate, often you can print that pretty well. So that looks good. These like clasps on her clothing were very cool. Maybe a little bit more detail on the belt and some of these bands here. But overall, again, this is pretty darn cool. I like it quite a bit, actually. This is awesome. This is really cool. All right, so there's one of them. Sculpted base, obviously, and the base looks fantastic. Take a look at this guy here. Great looking freaking huge axe. This like skull on the back here looks incredible. Super awesome. A unique base, so I appreciate that. Very solidly connected there. The like greaves and the lines there look really good. The cloth looks fantastic. The axe looks super cool. Again, you might want to maybe accentuate that texture a tiny bit, just enough so that in the final print of the miniature it looks good. The reason you have to accentuate is because there's some shrinkage in the plastic mold when they do a mass injection with some PVC style plastic. Even ABS, all of them will shrink a little bit, so that's important to make sure to show up. There was some separation on the layers here, but this would normally go fine. That's just literally from the print, which is fine. Getting a little bit right there as well. The fingers look good. They're kind of all connected, and then the tips are just separate. That's a good way to do it. Yeah, this looks awesome. Very cool. The head, very separate there. The ears will need to be thickened up a little bit. They're pretty skinny right now, but they should be fine. Same with the teeth, these little tusks coming out. But overall, yeah, very good. Connection points are good everywhere. Yeah, that's nice. That's a cool guy. I like him. All right, next up we have this lady here. This is like the little druid lady. Very cool horns. Love seeing that. That's awesome. The hair looks cool too. The like, I don't even know what you call this, but this like half wrap looking kind of thing. Very cool design. I like the edging on it. It's like this kind of fur edge that looks really cool. Also, the swirl here is awesome. I love the like vine that's going around. It looks like it connects a few points too, just to add some connection there. So there's like these hair things that come out in these clasps, but it's connected there and there. So it's still really skinny here. Not really skinny, but unsupported here. But I think that's fine. I think that'll be good. Her staff is actually good thickness as well, which is great to see. I think that'll print out really well. The fingers, again, same thing. They're all connected, but the tips, that should be pretty good also. And again, the unique base looking great. Honestly, this is looking very cool. Obviously, it's going to be multi-piece. There's not really if ands or but about it, but it does look like they're doing a very good job and being quite smart about it as well, which is really, really good. Most of the detail looks to be thick enough to, survive the normal kind of non-3D print style manufacturing. So I think that looks good. Okay, we got one more hero here. Okay, they did a good job on this too. I was wondering how they would do that. So essentially they're connecting all of these little pieces. So see, that's his art. Right, you can see the scale-wise, actually a little bit smaller on the Standee. The overall size is there, but the art is a little bit smaller. But anyway, they connected all these with like this like kind of magic electrical kind of thing, which I think looks great. It is connected to his head. That might look a little strange, but perhaps that works out just fine. I'd have to see kind of maybe how it paints up. The hair looks good. Obviously, there's these little tips here that'll probably not be quite so pointy. It'll be a little bit more of a rounded hairstyle look, just because the little sharp points like that typically don't work out too well. Now the hand here, we'll see how that looks like, of course, but that is kind of the hard part there, is when all the fingers are separated, right? Because to push the plastic into that little bit and then have it come out of the mold fine and then have it like shrink down slightly, it can be a little difficult. The connection point with this looks good. I'm wondering if, and again, this is why I consult on minis sometimes with companies, because I'm wondering if you could just increase this to kind of go halfway on the fingers. So again, it's kind of like when they're all connected with the points. And I bet if you thickened the connection point in the hand itself, you can still see the fingers, especially on the outside, but then it's just connected that much stronger. I bet that'll work fine. I love this like pauldron looking kind of, I don't even know what you would call that, but that looks cool on the shoulder there. Like the book, of course, these little tassel bits are really cool, but the connection point in there probably won't happen. It'll probably just need to be moved down slightly so it's not quite so dangly. Yeah, the base looks good. I appreciate that. There's some cleanup. Looks like some of the plastic or whatever that is. I don't even know. Whatever it is, it's gone now almost. There we go. It looks like, oh, this is probably a support here. That's funny. That survived right along the foot because it went by the foot. The support went through it is all. Yeah, it's looking good. The detail on here, like on the back, that little symbol there, might need to be thickened up a little bit. Overall, again, I quite like it. I think it looks awesome. All right, now we have these kind of big boss looking kind of people. So let's take a look at this one. This one's cool. I like this. We're going to have to zoom out slightly. Make sure I stay in camera. I love the Norse looking kind of, and I always view these kind of things as like some kind of Celtic Norse style, just a very northern tendency. And then you see the like fur cloak here, and you see the little symbols there. All of that makes it seem kind of like that. Love the chair style though. It looks awesome. Very cool throne. Right there on a plinth as well. Love the cape. Now, one of the cool things is how casual this person is. They almost look kind of childlike in a way with their facial structure. Holding up their leg like that is very cool. I don't think I have a mini that does that at all. That's a unique sitting pose for a mini for me, so that's awesome. But then the fingers as well, and again, they're doing the 2, 2, and 1. It's a very smart way to be able to print these minis out in its final production plastic, so I do like seeing that. Yeah, this is really cool. This is awesome. I like this. The only thing that makes it slightly kind of odd is this plinth style here. Makes it kind of definitely look, like, hey, it's a stand-up, but I think they all actually have that too. So, yeah, design on the back as well. Yeah, looks cool. And again, all these little posts, those wouldn't necessarily be there either. The one kind of interesting thing, I don't know if it's on purpose or not, I'm assuming just because of how thick this is, right? But there is a little bit of warping here, as you can see. Tiny bit of warping, same with right here. And again, that's from the print style more than anything. Okay, here's this guy. Again, looking awesome. Again, on this kind of plinth, though I like the damage on the plinth and stuff. That's super cool. I do like seeing that. These look really close together. I don't know if it's all the same and just copy pasted or not. But I don't know. It looks, I guess it's a little off because this is a little bit different. I'm about to say even this right here looks really close. It's pretty close, but that still looks really good. I love it. Love the point here. It is connecting, but just barely. That's good. That'll help kind of keep this nice and straight. There might be a tendency to combine this in the front, but I'd fight against that if I could and just keep the arms and the sword as a separate piece that you put onto it. And it looks like there's some good lines here where you can combine them. The armor looks awesome, like super detailed, super cool. I like the various different types of like you have these like almost leather strap kind of stuff here. These two right here look like they blended in a bit too much, so obviously I think they should be separated a bit more. So to pay a bit of attention to that. The cloth here looks great. The inner cloth there looks awesome. Again, the armor looks super cool. I do dig all that. I will say the front of the Mini looks quite detailed. The back of the Mini, not quite as much. Now, it was printed that way, and sometimes when you print, and then this heavy primer, I'm not sure why they do that. I guess some people have a real big aversion to touching like resin. That's going to kill me or something. I don't know. Anyway. And maybe that's why they do it. I'm not exactly sure why they do. But it does hide a little bit of detail. But this just doesn't quite seem like you even see some of the detail here, and it just kind of dies here. So I'm not knowing what's causing that. But either way, one of the cool things about this almost looks like it's made out of stone. So even like the sword here kind of looks like it. So it's very much like a stone statue kind of style. Okay, got two more. There's one of them. This is an interesting one. Very, like, you can't see the feet at all, obviously, and there is some supports here. That's what that is. Same with, like, you know, this right here and stuff. And again, I don't even know if this will really break off too easily, but you have some support still showing, so don't mind those. The hair looks great. Love that. So holding the goblet here looks cool, or what, I don't know what it is. If it is supposed to be a goblet, it'd be nice if that was, you know, hollow. Or at least concaved. Otherwise, it kind of looks like a drum, sort of, which maybe that's the point. Detail on it looks great. That looks super cool. I like that. Love the different like cloth coming down here and coming down here, and then obviously wrapped here, swirled around here. Looks cool. Very fancy belt and armor. Again, the armor looks fantastic. Facial features look good. The pose is cool. Yeah, I like it. That's pretty neat. Very cool. They're all about the same height too, which is kind of neat. And then finally we got this guy here, who again is like huge, just width-wise, right? I mean, just like compared to like this guy, right? Like you can kind of see the difference there. Again, super ornate armor. Loving the cloth. They've done exceptional on the cloth, so I will say that. There's a little bit of like it got a little dusty before being primed. I can see that as well. I know that because I've done it myself. Again, there are still some supports that are attached to there, so don't focus too much on the supports. Right, that's even like this right here. Looks to be, oh no, that's not a support. See, I'm glad I didn't break that off. Again, this is all just kind of dust and stuff that can happen on the resin if it sits out for a little bit. So they obviously didn't prime these right away, which again, it's okay. All right, anyway, armor looks really cool. Again, the back is a little bit less detailed, but I suspect that's just from the printing that's been done. Love how thick this like stone shield is, and it looks awesome. I'm not sure what exactly is going on here with the hand. It looks like it was just a bad print, perhaps, because that looks normal, and this looks like a bad print right there, which can happen. If there's a layer that's off, it'll just kind of get this like flat line here, and that's why the fingers go a little odd there. So don't focus too much on that. Again, prototype, obviously. Instead, we'll just focus on kind of what we can see, which I think looks super cool. Some of these recesses and stuff here are going to be really hard to do in the same with this right here without being two parts, which could do without multi-parting it a lot or adjusting the sculpt slightly. But overall, very, very cool. And guys, that's literally it. That's everything. So that is Crystal Age. That'll be on, I believe, Kickstarter. It might be GameFound. Either way, crowdfunding soon. There's a link down in the description below. Feel free to check that out. I'm excited to see more about this. It looks actually really cool. So, yeah, if you have any questions, let me know, of course. And I'll see you on the campaign. Bye, guys.